I finally understood everything the year I turned 82. The loving marriage I was so proud of was actually my husband's lifelong suffering. On his deathbed, he entered my dreams. He said, "I wish you to forever lose what you love, and may we never meet again in the next life, even in death." The bullet screen says the one my husband loved was my elder sister. Both of them died with deep regret, and I was the only fool who was happy for a lifetime. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the day I first met Manhwa. In my previous life, I fell into the water and was rescued by Manhwa. He stood on the shore, soaking wet. I didn't have a single fear of nearly drowning in my mind. I had only one thought: this gentleman is so handsome. Because he rescued me in public. I had physical contact with Manhwa. To protect my reputation, the two families arranged our marriage. The Wen family of Kyoto was a prestigious clan of 100 years. Their former students and followers were all over the court. Even the current Empress Dowager had to respect the old matriarch of the Wen family after marrying Manhwa. My days were so sweet, it was as if I had fallen into a honey pot. Manhwa was a man of few words, but he would always greet me when leaving early and returning late. When I was greedy and ate too much, causing bloating, though he was cold and aloof, he would still quietly massage my belly at night. During festivals and holidays, he arranged everything in the household perfectly. He never let me worry about a single thing. I praised my husband to everyone I met. My friends envied my good fortune. I thought the same in my memories. Only regretting that when Huayu left too early. He passed away in his 30s, without even leaving a final word. I guarded a fortune of gold and silver for over 50 years. Living as a widow until I was 82. With many grandchildren. I passed away peacefully, right before the end. When Huayu ran into my dream. He stood under the moonlight in cold white robes. His features were still as handsome as ever. I said with a face full of tears, "Husband, why did you never visit me in my dreams even once?" When Huayu's expression was flat, "You never dream at all." How could I enter them? I could only wait at the head of the bridge of helplessness, stupidly waiting for you for over 50 years. Only when you were about to die. Could I finally enter your dream? I was deeply moved. Excitedly trying to rush forward and hug him. "Husband, you really do care for me." He took a step back, avoiding my embrace. "I entered your dream just to tell you one thing. Marrying you in this life made me lose my true love and live with regret forever. I wish you well. But I hope you and I never meet again in the next life." Then he turned around and left. I stood there in a daze. Rows of small characters appeared before me. Who is so carefree that they never even have a dream? The male lead couldn't even find a way into her dreams. The king of denseness. The male lead was so miserable he died at 30, and she lived happily until 82. Is this reasonable? The male lead is also ridiculous. Just to say never meet again. He waited by the bridge of helplessness for over 50 years. I can understand the male lead's thoughts. He just wanted to say a complete goodbye to the female supporting character. Actually, the male lead was angered to death by her. He originally had one breath left and wanted to divorce her, but she wailed at him, shouting with deep affection, "Living together and dying together. Let's continue our fate in the next life." The male lead just snapped and breathed his last. He didn't even have time to mention the divorce. Oh my, look at how this turned out. I enjoyed all the emotional blessings by myself. When I opened my eyes again, the rolling river was in front of me. When I was pulled out of the river, I had swallowed several mouthfuls of water. A crowd of people had gathered around me. Someone was calling me. "She's alive. All thanks to young Master Wen's heroic rescue." I dizzily raised my hand and saw a familiar face, Wen Huayu. A youthful Wen Huayu. He was soaking wet. Dark hair clinging to his ears, staring down at me. I looked at him intently. His face was still so handsome. Features delicate. Lips slightly pale. He looked like a young master walking out of a painting. He took a step back and said coldly, "Please behave yourself." I blinked. The bullet screen boiled over again. The side character restarted. Why couldn't she restart earlier? Why pick this specific moment? The male lead saved her again. And they had physical contact again. "Please, female supporting character, don't pester him this time, okay? Let him find his true love, okay? Have some sympathy for him." I stood up and wrung out the water from my sleeves. My thoughts were a mess. One moment it was the bullet screen. The next it was Wen Huayu. And what he told me in the dream in my previous life. Marrying you in this life. The pain was real love. So living with me was that much of a torture? Then why didn't he say so earlier? Like a mute, he said nothing at all. Who could have guessed? Fine, I'm not heartless. Since I've already enjoyed a lifetime of heavenly days. I'll grant him his wish this time. Seeing that I was fine, when Huayu turned to leave, I grabbed the corner of his clothes. He stopped and turned to look at me. His gaze cold and distant. Just like in my previous life. Miss. He whispered about propriety, and I let go. You also were reborn, weren't you? Since you didn't want to see me again, why did you still hold me? His expression wavered for a second, but he immediately composed himself. I only didn't want to share good fortune with you again. I didn't intend to watch you die. I stood up, bowed to him, and gave a sincere smile. Thank you for saving my life, young master. Rest assured, I will never marry you in this life. I turned and walked away. Eh? She just left like that? No more clinging? Abnormal, extremely and utterly against common sense. Even the male lead must be completely dazed. Ha ha ha. I walked forward. In this life, whoever wants to marry him can marry him. The Wen family isn't the only family with a good life. I can definitely find something even better. My father is a scholar of the Hanlin Academy, a 5th rank official, in Kyoto. 5th rank officials are everywhere. My mother is the main wife. My elder sister is 2 years older than me. She was born to my father's first wife. The bullet screen said the one Wen Huayu truly loved was my elder sister. I wasn't surprised at all. After all, I loved him very much too. After returning home, I took a hot bath, drank 2 bowls of hot ginger tea, and was lying down under a quilt when my elder sister came to see me. She was 17. Beautiful as a flower, with eyes that sparkled. She looked truly lovable. I stared at her face for a long time. My elder sister felt uneasy. Sister, I heard you fell into the water today. Are you okay? I laughed. I'll be fine after a sleep. In the previous life, after I married into the Wen family, my elder sister visited me several times. Every time, when Huayu was there, he had a cold face when he looked at me, and a cold face when he looked at my sister. I even advised him not to welcome guests with such a face. Too cold. I know you like to act serious. And you're not intentionally targeting anyone, but my sister doesn't know that. I pinched both his cheeks and pulled them outward. Smile a bit. After pulling. When Huayu looked like he was about to suffocate, thinking about it now. He probably didn't want others to notice. He was specifically targeting you. He just hates that he couldn't be with her. The male lead is really showing a cold face to a blind person. What a tragic male lead. He played out so many scenes in his head. While the female supporting character was still being an idiot. Sister went to the Wen mansion to see her twice. Saw her sister living well and felt relieved. She married far away into a remote town and never returned to the capital until her death. Marrying so far away, I don't believe it wasn't for the sake of her sister. Fortunately, the lead couple had high morals. Bound by love but restricted by reason. They absolutely never did anything to betray the wife. Yes, that's why I'm a fan of the lead couple. The more they can't be together, the more heartbreaking it is. After my sister left, the maid was muttering nearby. Miss, you were too careless. How did you fall into the river for no reason? Stop it. I closed my eyes. I'm tired. Me Tao, close your mouth. Just as I was dizzily about to fall asleep, I heard someone talking outside the room. The Wen family sent an invitation. They are coming to visit the young lady tomorrow. Probably coming to discuss how to quiet the gossip. Today in public. Young master Wen held the young lady. It will somewhat affect the young lady's reputation. Mi Tao's voice was kept very low. The miss is asleep. Should we wake her? I turned over and covered my head with the quilt. After when Huayu saved me in the previous life, a card was also sent the next day. I was so excited I couldn't sleep all night, tossing and turning, worrying about which dress to wear for the guest. I only found out later. He just wanted an excuse to see my elder sister. The next day, I didn't go to see the guest. Not only did I not go, I told my father early on that I firmly would not marry young Master Wen. He saved me out of necessity. We cannot return kindness with enmity and pester him. What if he already has someone he likes? Ruining someone's marriage will bring retribution. My father was pestered by me until he had no choice. He had to agree with me. Fine, you won't marry young Master Wen. You can marry whoever you want. I'll have your mother choose slowly for you. After arranging everything, I slept peacefully. I didn't wake up until 2 days later. As soon as I opened my eyes, Mi Tao rushed over with swollen eyes. Miss, you're finally awake. You've been sleeping for 2 days with a high fever. If young Master Wen hadn't brought the imperial physician, who knows when the fever would have broken. My head was groggy. Young Master Wen? Mi Tao nodded. Yes, young Master Wen heard you were ill. And specifically invited an old imperial physician, she said with a smile. He's so worried about you. He's still waiting outside right now. Does the miss want to see him? I shook my head violently. Sick as a dog. No see, no see. At that moment, a cold voice came from the courtyard. Miss Zhu. I found doctors and medicine for you. Yet you won't even meet me to say thank you? Is this your upbringing? What on earth is Manhwa up to? I shouted through the door, but even if you didn't bring the doctor, I wouldn't have died. In my last life, I lived to be 82. The courtyard immediately fell silent. 82? That's quite a long life, ha 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 ha. The male lead was driven away by anger. In the previous life, the female supporting character never knew when she angered the male lead. The male lead could only leave in a huff. He's used to it. The female supporting character isn't playing hard to get, is she? Please, female supporting character, don't be so conceited. The male lead actually wants to gain presence in front of the female lead. Getting close? Mi Tao was puzzled. Miss, how did you know you lived to 82 in your last life? I replied to her, you weren't bad either. You lived to be 80. Mi Tao was intoxicated with the joy of a long life. The physician hadn't left yet. I asked him to check my father's and mother's pulses for peace of mind. Finally, I hurriedly took him to my elder sister's courtyard. My sister was confused. Sister, my body is perfectly fine. Better safe than sorry. Father and mother both had a checkup. It's hard for our family to get an imperial physician. Don't waste it. The old physician finally caught up, panting. My face turned a bit green as I listened. But I didn't notice. The old physician took the pulse and said thoughtfully, the eldest miss has a slight deficiency of qi and blood. Is it because you have too much on your mind lately? My sister blushed slightly. I just enjoy reading some miscellaneous books and sleep a bit late at night. The old physician wrote a prescription, and Mi Tao went to get the medicine. I cautioned my sister, reading late at night hurts the body. You can't do it anymore. Go to sleep as soon as it gets dark. My sister reached out and poked my forehead. You're just lazy yourself. And you have to drag me into it. Only if you take care of your health. Can you grow old with your beloved? My sister blushed. Don't talk nonsense. I held my sister's hand. Who is sister's beloved? Can't you tell me? My sister said hesitatingly, I'll tell you later. Fine, even if you don't say it, I know. For the next period of time, when Huayu kept coming to my house every few days, he even became close friends with my father. He followed all the rules perfectly. Today sending some precious jewelry. Tomorrow sending several bolts of silk. The day after, 2 baskets of lychees from the south. Everything was prepared in 2 sets, given to the eldest miss and second miss respectively. I looked at those things, lost in thought. What does this mean? What if sister misunderstands? Sister hadn't misunderstood yet, but Mi Tao misunderstood first. She winked at me, Miss. I think young Master Wen has taken a fancy to you. A few days later, even my father got it wrong. Could young Master Wen be interested in you? I was a bit frustrated. Why wasn't he interested in you? Father touched his own old face and panicked. That can't be right. I blocked Wen in the winding corridor of the back garden. Huayu was wearing a moon-white robe with a dark green belt, looking extraordinarily refined. Seeing me blocking the way, his expression was cold, and his brows were tightly furrowed. So Miss Zhu finally knows to come and thank me? His voice was a bit sarcastic, but I didn't quite catch it. I said straightforwardly, don't come here anymore. When Huayu's eyes flickered, looking at me in disbelief. Then he turned sideways and said stiffly, I came to discuss scholarly matters with Lord Zhu. What does that have to do with you? Acting again. Don't you literati ever get tired of it? I was a bit angry. I know the one you love is my sister. If you want to see her, just come openly. Gifts can be given openly too. Why use me as a shield? Hiding things only causes people to speculate. When Huayu's earlobes turned slightly red. Who misunderstood? Is that the point? Bro, you don't even know how to pursue the one you love. No wonder you worked yourself to death at 30 in the last life. And the bullet screen still blamed me. Is that fair? I told Mi Tao to prepare the brush and ink. I shoved them into Wen Huayu's hand. Right. He was stunned. Right what? I was getting impatient. Love poems. Hurry up and write. Once you're done, I'll give it to my sister for you. Ah, I really am a good person. Who knew Wen Huayu wouldn't appreciate it? His face fell. Improper behavior. What does this look like? After saying that, he threw down the brush and left, speechless. This is just how young couples behave. Why is the supporting character interfering? The ambiguous polling is the best part to watch. The supporting character is such a killjoy. The male lead learned his lesson from the hasty marriage in the last life. He wants to slowly get closer to the female lead. The emperor isn't worried, but the eunuch is, all for nothing. And they called me a dead eunuch. How ungrateful. I turned to the main courtyard to find my mother. How is the selection of a husband for your daughter going? My mother snorted with a cold laugh. With those requirements you gave me, you can forget about getting married in this lifetime. Just go to a temple and become a nun. I lowered my head in shame. Thinking about a heavenly life for an entire lifetime had made me quite picky. In this life, I was unwilling to settle no matter what. My mother mocked me, but still. She arranged for me to meet a bunch of young masters. I didn't like any of them. Finally, she brought a scroll. Lu Ji, the Marquis of Jinbei. Handsome features. Wealthy family background. Trusted by the emperor. Every point matches your requirements. Whether you can win him over depends on your own ability. Lu Ji? What a coincidence, I actually know him. In my previous life, his adopted son married my daughter. We were in-laws. Young master when invited my sister to see the lanterns at night. Sister wanted to drag me along when Huayu stood aside. Hands behind his back, expression indifferent. I still knew how to read the room a little. I covered my mouth and yawned. Not going, I'm exhausted and need to rest. I was lying to them. As soon as they left, I immediately went out to a private room in a tea house. Lu Ji asked me to come half an hour early. He stood by the window, wearing black formal robes, with a gold-threaded mesh belt around his waist, broad shoulders, straight as a pine tree. Hearing a sound, he looked up. The moment his gaze settled on my face, his narrow phoenix eyes lit up like a fool's treasure. The second miss of the Zhu family? In-law. Ah, no. I quickly changed my words, Lord Lu. Technically, this is our first meeting. In the past life, Lu Ji brought his adopted son to my house to propose to my daughter. He was powerful and imposing, full of heroic spirit. I whispered to my daughter, "Your father-in-law is really handsome." My daughter understood the deeper meaning, "Mother, wait for me to marry into his house, and I'll check things out for you." After that, Lu Ji and I actually became secret lovers. It was all because when Huayu left too suddenly, and I became a widow in my prime. How hard it was to raise several children. Besides, I even reported this matter to the Wen Huayu in the underworld. If you don't agree, just enter my dream at night. He didn't, so I took it as his consent. I went to find Lu Ji happily. That dead ghost allowed it. Lu Ji, even though he was already of father-in-law's age, was still as shy as a green youth. Even kissing was clumsy. For fear of hurting me. There was a big difference in our statures, but he would desperately restrain himself, giving me nothing but comfort. In the past, I spent the second half of my life with Lu Ji. It's just that he also couldn't outlive me. He was gone by 70. His greatest regret before death was not being able to marry me. At his most crazed moment, he even thought about kicking his adopted son out of the family tree just so he could marry me properly. Wouldn't that be screwing over my daughter? I took a whip and gave him a fierce beating on the bed. Only then did he quiet down. Lu Ji, seeing me staring at him blankly, coughed once. "Miss Zhu, what are you looking at?" "Looking at you. You are quite handsome." Lu Ji's hand trembled. He almost couldn't hold his teacup. His earlobes turned a visible, translucent red. Miss Zhu is even more striking than the rumors. After tea, Lu Ji invited me to see the lanterns. The streets were crowded with people. The lanterns lit up the night like broad daylight. I was standing on my tiptoes looking at a rabbit lantern. From the corner of my eye, I suddenly spotted two familiar silhouettes. Wen Huayu and my elder sister. The two of them stopped in front of a snack stall. They stood neither too close nor too far apart. Just at that moment, Wen Huayu looked up as if to glance in my direction. My head felt like it was exploding with a loud buzz. Instinctively, I dove into Lu Ji's arms. I hid my face tightly against his chest, clutching his collar with both hands. I wanted to hide my entire body inside his robes. Lu Ji's body stiffened slightly. His heart was beating as fast as a drum. His hand hovered over my back, not knowing whether he should place it down or not. When Huayu's gaze shifted over, he froze for a second. That back of the girl in the pink dress, tucked into the arms of a burly man, looked somewhat familiar. He took a few more glances. Unconsciously, he began to step toward the couple. Just as he got close, The eldest miss of the Zhu family called out from behind, waiting for young Master Wen. When Huayu stopped in his tracks, he lowered his eyes with a bitter smile, turned around to return to the eldest miss's side, and walked away with her. I was still hiding in Lu Ji's arms like an ostrich. Miss Zhu. His voice was unusually raspy. They have already left. I slowly poked my head out to take a look. I let out a sigh of relief. Gosh, that was a close one. Then I froze. Wait a minute, I'm not married to Wen Huayu in this life. Why was I hiding? Ha ha ha, the supporting character's brain just glitched. She thought it was her previous life, bumping into the main wife while out with a lover. The fear of being caught is only natural. Someone look at the marquee. He's about to catch fire from her flirting. Lu Ji's deep voice drifted from above, Miss Zhu. His face was completely flushed. His Adam's apple bobbed up and down several times. I will come to your house tomorrow to propose marriage. I was like, that. Is it that urgent? You don't want to take responsibility? Lu Ji's eyes reddened slightly. He stared at me with a resentful look, like a poor stray dog on the street. I have never been held by a girl before. I gave a dry laugh and urged him, take responsibility. I'll definitely take responsibility. Lu Ji's face broke into a smile. He escorted me home. I staggered along to find my elder sister. Just as I ran into her courtyard, I saw her with an elegant young master, kissing under the moonlight. It wasn't Wen Huayu. I shouted. My sister shouted. Before I could even interject, footsteps drifted from behind. Wen Huayu's figure appeared at the entrance of the courtyard. His gaze was icy as he stared over. In a moment of panic, I jumped over to the side of the elegant young master, grabbed his hand, and introduced him very boldly. This is my husband-to-be. As soon as the words left my mouth, a cold voice drifted over. He is your husband-to-be? Then what am I? Lu Ji had actually followed me, holding the romantic young master on the left, while my right hand was gripped by Lu Ji. In front of me stood a grim-faced Wen Huayu. My sister shrunk back into the distance. Well, what kind of mess is this? The supporting character is such a bro. She only wanted to cover for her sister, but ended up digging a hole for herself. This is a complete disaster. Hurry up and scatter. I'm dizzy too. What is going on? Did the female lead not fall for the male lead? She actually changed her mind. Lu Ji and Wen Huayu asked in unison, demanding to know who he was. I turned to look at the romantic young master. He looked back at me too. We stared at each other with wide eyes. The romantic young master's face twitched. I am Shendu, the son of the Minister of Rights. Ah. Right. He is young Master Shen. My husband-to-be. Lu Ji's grip on my hand suddenly tightened. He stared at me with immense grief, as if I were some kind of heartbreaker playing with feelings. Say it one more time. Only then did I realize things were bad. I quickly shook off Shendu's hand, then went to coax Lu Ji. Don't panic. You are also my husband-to-be. Both of you are. Wen Huayu gave a cold snort. Zhu Qinghao, you have quite some ambition. I didn't know how to explain. The damage was done. I might as well just give up and let it be. I suddenly straightened my back. Well, that's just how it is. I'm tired. I'm going home to sleep. After saying that, I didn't care how they felt. I left the crowd and made a quick exit. The next morning, I was sleeping soundly when Bitao shook me awake. Miss, wake up. Marquis Lu has come to the house to propose. He even caught 2 wild geese specifically. I was pulled out of my warm bed by Bitao. My head was full of morning crankiness. Couldn't he have come a little later? Don't mess up my eyebrows. Just as I finished washing up, my elder sister pushed the door open and entered. She was wearing a pale yellow outer garment. Her face was slightly red, looking like a rose. I have something to tell you. My sister sat down. She took the tea and had a sip. Actually, at the Lantern Festival last night, I already made things clear with young Master Wen. Huh? The two of us have been seeing each other for a while, but we feel like we're not a good match. What? My sister looked at me seriously. We've agreed to be brothers, so it's off. You took the blame for me for nothing. Young Master Wen definitely didn't come to catch us. I opened my mouth, unable to say a word for a long time. She paused for a moment, then suddenly leaned in close. Qinghao, didn't you ask me last time who my sweetheart was? My sister pulled a small booklet from her sleeve and placed it in front of me. Here. See for yourself. The words Kyoto's top handsome guy suddenly appeared. Then page after page followed, filled with names. Beneath every name was a clear evaluation. The third son of the Minister of Rights has a handsome face. but unfortunately, he is a bit short. The second son of Lordly from the court of imperial sacrifices. Height, 8 feet, but very talkative. Scholar Zhang from the Hamlin Academy has bad breath. General Zhao, the guard commander, is heroic and spirited. But unfortunately, he is a widower. Flipping halfway through, I saw Wen Huayu's name. Beneath it, it said, Wen Huayu, the eldest son of the Wen family, is elegant. He has extraordinary eloquence. At first glance, he looks like a deity, but after meeting him, I realized he has an icy temper. He is quiet and reserved. Talking with him is like he's daydreaming or sleepwalking. It's like playing a lute to a cow. Bad review. Bad review. Bad review. A thick red cross was drawn next to the name. Very eye-catching. This is absolutely incredible. No wonder when the supporting character asked her about her crush, the female lead didn't say anything. It would take half a day just to count this string of names. An entire booklet of secret crushes, when Huayu was just one of them. And he even got a cross. I'm so exhausted. I thought the female lead was a devoted soul. But she's actually a pro player. This booklet left me speechless. You've seen my embarrassment. My sister lowered her eyes shyly. I'm a bit of a flirt. Sister, what on earth are you shy about? This is more than just being a bit of a flirt. At this moment, Bitao called again from outside, Miss. Marquis Lu is already waiting in the living room. Master wants you to go receive him personally. My sister hurried me out. Go on, go on. Marquis Lu is truly capable. Sister has already approved of him for you. I was kicked out of the door, completely confused. My head was in a mess. Then why did my sister die of grief in the previous life? She doesn't look sad at all now. I stepped into the main hall. Lu Ji was sitting on a chair, wearing a deep red robe. He looked dashing. The room was piled with boxes. 2 wild geese were jumping around on the table, their legs tied with red cloth. Seeing me enter, he stood up, his eyes shining as he looked at me. Second miss. I have come to propose. His voice was deep and powerful. Very well, very well. Son-in-law, please sit down quickly. The butler ran in with a message. Master. Young Master Wen has arrived. Wen Huayu walked into the room in high spirits. He was dressed in a white robe, with a black leather belt around his waist. The whole man was cold and handsome like jade. The first thing he said was, Master Zhu, I have come to propose to your second Mississippi. Dozens of chests were moved inside, shining brightly. A subordinate behind him brought forward a long box. When opened, inside was a scroll painting. On it was a girl in a light purple dress, standing by a lantern. On tiptoe, looking at a rabbit lantern. Her eyes were curved in a smile, full of bright and pure joy. It was indeed me. In the corner was a row of small characters. In this life, my only true love is you. I look at Lu Ji, then at Wen Huayu, feeling conflicted. Oh dear, what should be done? My mother said excitedly, let's draw lots. I wasn't happy about that. Can't you listen to my opinion as the main character? My mother was also unhappy. What is your opinion? I pushed aside Wen Huayu's eager gaze, stepped forward, and grabbed Lu Ji's hand. I choose Lu Ji. The living room was dead silent for a second. My father's eyebrows were twitching. My mother's hand holding the cup stopped in midair. Lu Ji held my hand firmly, his eyes shining brightly. The smile on his lips couldn't be held back. The time on the 1st of next month is the best time of the year. Why don't we set the wedding for the 1st of next month? How about that? Ha 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 ha. Lu Ji is seizing the opportunity to pursue his wife. Why hasn't Wen Huayu left yet? Why is he still standing there? Maybe he's waiting for the supporting character to look at him. I instinctively glanced at Wen Huayu. He was standing under the morning sun, his white robe like snow, even his lips were pale. He stared at me blankly, his eyes full of confusion and pain. Wen Huayu's voice trembled slightly. Second miss, may I have a few words with you in private? No, my mother pinched me from behind. She mouthed to me. He at least gave you a painting after all. Wen Huayu was the top scholar who won 3 consecutive honors. His calligraphy and painting were superb. In the last life, Wen Huayu had made many paintings for me, but only because I begged him to pick up the brush. Across 2 lifetimes, this was the first time he had painted me on his own initiative. Young Master Wen, in the previous life, you told me you hoped we would never meet again in the next life. I didn't forget. And I have complied. In this life, let's just let each other go. That was not my true heart. His voice was deep. I waited for you by the Naiha Bridge for over 50 years. I comforted myself. Every ghost asked me why I was waiting. I said I was waiting to end things with you once and for all. I was holding on every day. In fact, I saw that after you passed away. It was lonely and frightening on the path to the underworld. So I desperately, the male lead finally said it. The stubborn one finally spoke, but it's not a happy ending. Lu Ji stood in front of me, young master Wen. Why didn't you say these things earlier? Coming here at the moment of proposal. You're truly good at picking the wrong time. When Huayu looked at him. When did you meet Qinghao? Lu Ji's expression was as usual, in the previous life. I was Qinghao's secret lover for over 20 years. In this life, he has granted me the status of official husband. My father was dumbstruck. What is a secret lover? My mother tugged at him, be quiet. The proposal tea hadn't been finalized yet. My mother made the decision. I only have one daughter. And I can't cut her into two pieces. You all go back to your houses first. Let her take it slowly and choose between the two of you. My mother happily asked me to send them out. Lu Ji was the first to let go. He stepped outside and turned back to look at me, mouthing, I'll wait for you. When Huayu stood frozen in place, he looked at me for a long time then turned to leave. His back looking desolate. My nose suddenly felt a bit sour. The supporting character is feeling soft-hearted. Don't. The Marquis is so much better. The devoted Marquis is so passionate. I really like this size difference. Why can't she just keep both? Hey girl. Sister hugged my arm, Qinghao. You absolutely must not be soft-hearted. A guy like Wen Huayu is fine as a friend. But as a husband, he'll bore you to death. I tried to joke with him 20 times while looking at lanterns. And he didn't laugh even once. By comparison, my young Master Shen is much better. My sister's cheeks flushed red again. He loves to laugh and talk sweet nonsense. He said my eyes are like the bright moon. Shining so brightly he can't hide anything in his heart. Then he kissed me. He kissed me for a long time. My expression was flat. Sister. I'm not in the mood to listen to this. My sister said with a smile, it doesn't matter if you're not interested. Sister wants to tell you. In the following days, Lu Ji came to find me every day. Qinghao, your makeup today is absolutely beautiful. Qinghao. I was thinking of you. Ever since we parted last night, I've been thinking of you. When Huayu came as well, Bitao said he stood under that old tree in the back alley every day. He stood there for over half an hour. His gaze was drifting. His expression dazed. No one knew what he was thinking. I leaned against the wall and peeked for a second. The wind lifted his long sleeves. He looked like a painting. I ran away. Miss, why don't you go talk to him? No. He hasn't come to find me. Miss. Young Master Wen probably isn't unwilling to speak. He just doesn't know how to speak to you. In the dead of night, Lu Ji sat on my courtyard wall, carrying half a bottle of osmanthus wine. I couldn't sleep. So I came to have a few drinks with you. I took the wine bottle. He was already sitting by the eaves. The moonlight made his features look very sharp. Qinghao, are you hesitating? You don't have to rush to answer. I'm willing to wait. In the last life, I waited for over 20 years. In this life, if it takes more time, so be it. He paused for a moment. There's only one thing. You must not choose Wen Huayu just because you pity him. His misery is his business. Not your burden. You get married to enjoy life. Not to save people from their grievances. The Marquis has such a grand spirit. This is the magnanimity that an official husband should have. Aren't you worried I'll choose him? Lu Ji laughed. If you really choose him, it just means I didn't do well enough. I'll just have to work harder. If you take a fancy to him, I'll wait. He left at 30 in the last life. He probably won't live long in this life either. I'll just marry you then. I almost spat out my wine. Early the next morning, when Huayu arrived with a food box. Inside were osmanthus cakes. They were misshapen. And a few of them were even cracked. I made them myself. I spent the whole night figuring it out. I took a bite. It's okay, just a bit ugly. Whatever you like, I can learn it all. These past few days, I've finally realized something. That we've come to this point today is entirely my fault. If you really don't want to marry me, that's okay. But please don't ignore me. Just allow me to stay in a place where I can see you. The male lead can finally speak like a human being. I looked at his slightly red eyes, Wen Huayu. In the last life, I said we'd share a bed in life and a grave in death, and that we'd continue our bond in the next life. That was the truth. He suddenly looked up. But you have to take a back seat. Lu Ji came to propose first. And we've already exchanged tokens of love. Everything should follow the order of who came first. The corners of Wenhuayu's mouth slowly curled up. Okay. You're even willing to do that? As long as I can be with you. It doesn't matter what rank I am. Wow, the male lead actually agreed. Main husband Lu Ji, second husband Wenhuayu. What kind of dream life is this? This girl really has good luck. My mother stepped out from behind the screen. Me? Then it's settled. Main husband, Lu Ji. Second husband, Wenhuayu. Does anyone have an objection? I didn't say anything, young Master Wen. From now on, call me Big Brother. Big Brother Lu. My sister gave me a thumbs up, good. My younger sister is a role model for everyone. Do I have a say? My mother glanced at him half coldly. My father quickly shrank back. The wedding was scheduled for 3 months later. To show the magnanimity of the main husband, Lu Ji personally caught 4 wild geese. It was truly a double celebration. When Huayu came every day to bring things to me, his skill at making handmade sweets became more and more refined. Bitao asked me, who did I actually prefer? I kept it to myself. Lu Ji is like the scorching sun, making one's whole body feel warm. When Huayu is like the bright moon, silently hanging there, providing peace and comfort. The sun and the moon. I love them both and won't choose. They all said in the last life, the supporting character was lonely with steady pain. In this life, with 3 of them together, it's steady happiness. Congratulations on the perfect ending. On the day of the wedding, the Kyoto sun was blazing. Lu Ji arrived on horseback in a deep red wedding robe, Qinghao. He had waited for this half of his life. I have come to fetch you. During the ceremony, when Huayu stood among the relatives, he watched me step toward Lu Ji inch by inch. He watched me bow my head. His eyes were red, but the corners of his mouth were turned up. In the evening, Lu Ji had drunk quite a bit. He took me into his arms by the bed. Qinghao, am I dreaming? No. Let me pinch you. Would you hide if I touched you? He laughed. The night grew deeper. The moonlight was vast. I let out a quiet sigh. Lu Ji looked down at me. Are you thinking of him? Go find him tomorrow then. He'll be joining the household the day after tomorrow anyway. I said jokingly, you're quite open-minded. What choice do I have? He held me a little tighter. It's not like I own you all by myself. In the last life, I was just a nameless secret lover. In this life, I can finally be your official husband. The silver-white moonlight pierced through the window, scattering across his face. His eyes were exceptionally bright, as if they held an entire galaxy. I leaned in closer and kissed him on the mouth. Thank you, Lu Ji. Thank you for what? Thank you for waiting for you for 2 lifetimes? He laughed, lowering his head so our noses touched. It wasn't just 2 lifetimes, it's 3. The last life. This life, and the next life too. I only want you. Extra, when Huayu side story. The first time when Huayu met Zhu Qinghao was at the pier outside the city. She had accidentally fallen into the water. As she struggled dangerously in the river, he jumped into the water and pulled her up. She vomited several mouthfuls of water and dizzily opened her eyes. The first thing she said when she saw him was, "Young master, you are truly handsome." To speak so boldly in front of everyone. In his 18 years of life, he had never encountered a girl like this. At that time, he didn't understand at all that this was the beginning of their entire fate. The day the marriage was settled, he stayed in his study, a book of essays placed before him. Yet he couldn't process a single word. His heart was a tangled mess. He had once seen the eldest miss of the Zhu family at a gathering. She was indeed the top talented woman in Kyoto, gentle, graceful, and sensible, the very model of a virtuous wife in his mother's eyes. But he had to marry the second miss. The second miss who had praised his looks to his face at the pier. He worried this marriage would be a torment. But Zhu Qinghao was a girl who burned like wildfire. Unstoppable, she burned her way into his days. She chattered incessantly from dawn till dusk. About how today's osmanthus cakes were too sweet, or how the crabapples in the courtyard had bloomed. Even about the scar she got from falling off a tree as a child. He didn't need to join in. She could talk for a full hour by herself. She was a glutton. Once she ate 3 bowls for dinner and couldn't sleep because of bloating. She tossed and turned, twisting the quilt into a knot. He held back as much as he could, but finally, with warm hands, he quietly helped rub her stomach. She would purr comfortably, like a cat whose fur had been smoothed. He thought blankly, what am I doing? Yet his hands never stopped. She was sensitive to the cold. In winter, she would always shrink into his side of the bed. He would move over, and she would press closer. He moved again, she followed, until he was against the wall with nowhere to retreat. Then she would say, I'm cold, with complete confidence. He would fall silent. Then she would go even further, resting her feet on his calves. He never complained again. He wasn't a fool. What she didn't know was that he stayed awake until dawn that night. Because his heart was beating too fast for him to sleep, he started painting her. In the dead of night, he would stay alone in the study. The lines from his brush naturally became her likeness. The way she looked napping by the window, standing on her toes to reach a book on the shelf, or crouching by the pond to feed the fish. He hid them away after finishing. He never let her see. Back then, he still didn't realize that it was love. Occasionally, she would force him to say sweet words, but as a descendant of the Wen family, he had been taught from childhood never to show emotion. He couldn't say those mushy phrases. The words were stuck in his throat. Like fish bones he couldn't cough up. She thought he truly didn't care for her. She'd say only an infant couldn't speak. In the winter of his 30th year, he caught a cold. It wasn't a serious illness, just something that required a few days' rest. But she was frantic. She wouldn't leave his bedside for a moment. Her eyes red from crying. She muttered, "You mustn't let anything happen." "What would I do without you?" He looked at her, suddenly dazed. He wanted to say, "In this life, I will stay with you until I die," but he swallowed the words back down. He thought he would say it when he recovered. But the illness never went away. That evening at dusk, he felt a sudden, sharp pain in his chest. Everything went dark. She was so scared she dropped everything. She rushed forward and gripped his hand, sobbing uncontrollably. Husband, what's wrong? Don't scare me." He wanted to wipe her tears, wanted to tell her not to cry, but he could no longer speak. As his life reached its end, her wailing reached his ears. "I wish to be with you always. Let us be companions in the next life as well." Because of that sentence, he waited for her at the Bridge of Forgetfulness for over 50 years. He wasn't the only ghost at the bridge. A curious ghost asked him, "Who are you waiting for?" "I am waiting for my beloved." "How long have you waited?" "Over 50 years. You are a devoted one indeed." "Does she know you're waiting for her?" He was silent for a short while. "I am no devoted man. I simply want to tell her that we are through." She didn't dream of him. He tried many times, but he couldn't enter her dreams. He thought, it doesn't matter. Waiting is enough. She will come eventually. In those 50-some years of waiting, he replayed the events of that life, over and over many times. Finally, when she was dying, he entered her dream. He stood under the moonlight, watching her rush toward him with tear-filled eyes. His heart softened completely, but he stepped back, sticking to his original plan. To cut all ties with her. Marrying you in this life was to lose my love. Regret for half a lifetime. I hope in the next life we never meet again. And then, he was reborn. Reborn at the pier, when he pulled her out of the river. She told him she would never marry him in this life. He should have been happy. In that case, he could have pursued the eldest miss of the Zhu family. But his heart felt terribly bitter. When he heard she was ill, he panicked and didn't know what to do. He brought in imperial doctors, guarding her courtyard every single day. Later, when he sent things to the eldest miss, he couldn't help but prepare a portion for her too. When she blocked his way, no one knew how happy he was inside, but the words that came out were sarcastic. "Miss Zhu finally understands, and has come to thank me." He regretted it the moment he said it, but she didn't catch his meaning. She never understood the intent hidden in his words. Then Lu Ji appeared. That man dared to say all those shameless words. "I admire you. I want to marry you. You look beautiful in your uniform." Every sentence was something he wanted to say but couldn't. Watching Lu Ji go to propose, he completely lost his composure. He did the most embarrassing thing of his life, crashing the proposal. He stood in the hall, his heart trembling. He sat alone for a long time, thinking that her choice of Lu Ji was actually the right one. That guy could make her happy, could make her laugh, while he could only remain silent. But later, his thoughts changed again. She said, "In the last life, I said we'd share a bed in life and a grave in death, and continue our bond in the next life." That was the truth. But you are in the second position now. Lu Ji came to propose first, and we already exchanged tokens of love. Everything must follow the order of who came first. Being in the second position didn't matter. As long as he could be with her, no rank was too low. On their wedding night, he cried. "Why the tears?" "I didn't." His eyes were as red as a rabbit's. "The light just hurt my eyes." "Manhwa you. In the previous life, were you like this too?" clearly missing me to death. But staying stubbornly silent until it hurts. He didn't say a word. She let out a sigh and ruffled his hair. You really are a fool. He lowered his hands, burying his face in the crook of her neck. It was rare for him to be so vulnerable. She still carried that familiar scent. He closed his eyes, suddenly feeling that being second was actually quite good, at least in this life. He finally managed to say those words. Zhu Qinghao? I like you. I know. You've said it 8 times today. I like you. Manhua you. Did you sneak my osmanthus wine again? He didn't answer, because he really did sneak a drink. Without it, he still wouldn't have been able to say those things, but he thought, it's okay to take it slow. Loving you slowly, being together slowly, and slowly growing old by your side.